Hey guys, welcome to Reddit Brew. You know the drill, we're back at it again with the Reddit stories. So let's jump into it, shall we? Entitled brother-in-law and his wife want me to take my niece because they are couch surfing after not working for a year and their government help was cut off. A little context. My ex-wife passed away about 2 years ago and we were divorced approximately 2 years before that. But I have stayed very much in touch with my Mill and Bill despite these events. My Bill, 28, has always been known to be lazy. Same goes for his wife, 30. They've always gotten government assistance for housing, food, and bills. I really don't know how they got so much help. Neither of them are disabled in any way. They both have zero work ethic, and when they do work, it's only for about 1 to 2 weeks at a time. However, as of recently, they have not worked in about a year. It all finally caught up with them about a month and a half ago, when all their assistance was abruptly cut off. Their money ran out quickly, and no one wanted to hire them due to their work history. Over 20 jobs each in the span of 2 years. They lost both their car and apartment, and ended up living with my Mill, and she was tired of them being lazy sacks, not doing anything but sleeping and eating her food, so she kicked them out. Which brings us to the events that happened last week. They first approached me telling me to take my 7-year-old niece on vacation with my 3 kids, aged 13, female, 11, female, and 5, male. Yes, that is 5-year-old male, not 5 months. I may have been an a-hole, but I told them no, as my niece is a great handful to deal with. Anyway, we got back from vacation a few days ago, and my Bill and Sil say that I have to help them take care of my niece because they can't afford her right now, and they'll have nowhere to go if they have to take her. They're also threatening that if I don't, they'll just drop her off at my house anyways. I just tell them that I will not hesitate to call CPS if they do that, and will be sending them the messages if they do not stop. They stopped messaging me, but still call me every day without leaving a voicemail. I ignore them. Edit, clarification. 1, they are not disabled in any way. They just do not want to work. I even tried to help and had my brother-in-law work for me. In the 1 month he worked for me, he only showed up 75% of the time because he wanted to sleep in. 2, as many of you suggested, I ended up calling CPS for information. I did not give them my brother-in-law or his wife's info. I just told them about the scenario, and they said it does not yet meet their criteria for neglect. 3, for those saying I'm an a-hole for not taking my niece in. They have tons of other family that are willing to help them. They're just asking me because I'm well off financially, and I know that they're just using her as an excuse to get themselves to squat in my house. I guarantee that once my niece moved in, they'd be moving themselves in not long after. 4, I simply cannot care for another child. I'm a single dad, and I already have my hands full with my own 3 kids. My niece is also extremely misbehaved and likes to fight a lot with my youngest. My kids are no angels, but I'm not going to throw a ratchet into what we have working right now. 5, my Mill is not obligated to take care of her either. They lived with her for about 3 months while they got their stuff together, which never happened. She gave them their chance. They took total control of her home up until she forced them to leave. They're literally just lazy leeches. Man, everything I was going to address was so beautifully laid out in that edit. OP has a great head on his shoulders and is totally right. He has 3 kids of his own, who he is parenting on his own. He is not obligated to take in his niece just because he's the most financially stable. Nobody is obligated to take in a child if they are not comfortable with it. especially if the sole reason that they have to do so is simply just because the child's parents are lazy sacks that refuse to get jobs. Yes, it's unfair to the niece, and she did not get to choose her parents, but giving that family handouts is only going to enable them more. And maybe the worst, i.e. CPS getting involved if this does escalate, is what needs to happen in order for them to finally get a wake-up call. And that is just the sad, unfortunate reality for lazy POS parents. Entitled Mother thinks my hearing aids are AirPods. Oh my god, I have one. Never did I think I'd have a story for this sub. Wow. Okay, I'm still in a state of rage. So I just got home from the good old Mart of Walls. I knew pretty much what I wanted, so I didn't bother with a cart. Of course, I get distracted, and I end up in the kitchen cutlery aisles. And I'm idly looking at things and putting them back on the shelves. I guess that made me look like a worker? Don't know how. I'm wearing a dress. Whatever. So for context, I am hard of hearing. I wear hearing aids. They're rose gold and awesome, badass tech in my ears. Since I'm shopping, I have no reason to think someone would be needing my attention. But this EM was trying to get my attention. I see this woman and she says, "Finally! I've been chasing you down the aisles!" I'm thinking I must have something loose, or I dropped something. That she thought I was a worker just did not occur to me. You really shouldn't wear those while you're working. She's out of breath. Her little toddler is babbling away, oblivious. I'm still clueless. Where what? The AirPods! Fun fact, as someone who is hard of hearing, I mishear things, and it took me forever to understand what she said. I thought she said their pods. Whose pods? Your pods. What pods? I'm looking down at my dress thinking something had latched onto it. As I had my head down, this evil bat lady from hell grabbed my left hearing aid. It's squealing away and protesting, and I am in such a state of shock. My aids are a part of me. I went from baffled to pure rage in a split second. You give that back now! I clawed at my hearing aid and wrestled it back from her. I'm trembling at this point. Don't touch me! EM's kid starts crying from the sudden energy change. Look what you did! I was just saying you shouldn't wear those while you're working. I start walking away from her. Get away from me. If you come near me, I'll call the police and have you arrested for assault. What? Assault? But I growled at her. Yes, growled. And I walked away to find a store manager to tell them that they had a customer who just tried to take one of my hearing aids. But then I left. I was too outraged to get back to my lackadaisical meandering. Quick edit. I did speak to a store manager, but after, instead of getting what I went there for, I just left. Ah yes, another Karen who is ignorant to disabilities. Even if they were just AirPods, who thinks that they can just forcefully rip something off another person? Why are there so many people out there that refuse to keep their hands to themselves? It's baffling. I wish OP did more in regards to chewing out that Karen or calling the police, but I completely understand that when you're seething with anger, you may not have those thoughts of clarity and just want to remove yourself from the situation as fast as possible. I hope OP and her badass tech are okay though. I know that those aids aren't cheap. But anyway, that is all from me today. I hope you enjoyed these two entitled parent stories. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I truly appreciate when you do, and I will see you in the next Reddit story. Bye!